What is going on, YouTube-averse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Viva La Vinyl classic album review. And guys, it does not get much more classic than this. 2001's Love and Theft by Bob Dylan, an absolute masterpiece. And 31 albums into his career, he's putting out one of, in my opinion, his top 5 best, which is really saying something. Just incredible. And this, of course, came on the heels of his Grammy win in 1998 for Time Out of Mind, which was a huge comeback album for him and probably, gave him kind of a little bit of his mojo back. And on that momentum, he made some bold creative choices here, not least of which was to find a way to really suit this newfound, lower registered, gravelly voice, which, let's face it, Bob Dylan never had the greatest voice in the world, but he's always, like a chameleon throughout his entire career, found ways to use it in the most effective way. And here he does it just amazingly. It almost feels like he purposefully found a way to build a time machine and go back to the turn of the 20th century and just decide hey, I'm going to put an album out of all this music I love from the early 1900s through the 40s of Delta blues and Americana and folk and deep Southern country, and just put it all out there in this new modern format. And it's incredible, just from the opening of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, which is hilarious and shows he's also got his lyric chops back as far as Highway 61 level, just sarcasm and wit and just fun. And it also feels that way musically, on that song, it has this kind of New Orleans vibe to it, and the two guitarists, Larry Campbell and Charley Sexton, who continue to play with him to this day in his never-ending tour band. They're doing that little which is just so fun, man. Puts a smile on my face. Also got to give shout outs to the rhythm section of Tony Garnier on bass and Charlie Kemper on drums. They've been with him since this album, and it just shows they really all gelled on here. Also, Dylan himself just really stepping up his game guitar-wise on some of these ballads, especially some really intricate guitar work on songs like Po' Boy and Moonlight, which, again, it just feels like it was recorded in another world. And it feels so timeless, but also so fresh at the same time. And I have to say, it blows my mind as well that he produced this thing himself under the pseudonym Jack Frost. Also hilarious, typical Dylan move there. But yeah, man, he produced this thing. He had such an amazing creative vision for it, and it never loses the flow. I love how every other song, it's an upbeat number followed by a beautiful ballad. Of course, he got the song Mississippi, which of course he had kind of lent to Sheryl Crow, but then he took it back on here, and just a brilliant song, which keeps ending with that refrain, stayed in Mississippi a day too long. And yeah, it's just awesome. Again, the guitar work is so great. Then you go into Summer Days, which is this up-tempo kind of rockabilly blues song, which is just amazing. It's something you would have never expected from Bob Dylan, but that's the genius of this guy. He just continues to grow as an artist who could have long since retired if he wanted to, but it's he's still continuing to do his thing and just, blow people's expectations out of the water. Then you've got By and By, another great ballad. Lonesome Day Blues. Oh my God. This song rocks out, man. It is such an amazing stomping blues song. I had the opportunity to see this live on his tour when he came to Atlanta, touring this record, and oh my God, it was like the roof was going to blow off. They rock so hard. Amazing. They also did a cover of All Along the Watchtower. They did the Jimi Hendrix version of his own song towards the end of the night. Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, then you've got songs like High Water for Charlie Patton, which really has that kind of timeless sense of, he's got mandolins going in there, and the way that the drums are just kind of rolling on the toms and stuff, just has this amazing timeless vibe, but also very poignant lyrics of, it's hard out there, high water everywhere. And it has to be noted that this album not only came out in 2001, it was released on September 11th of all days. So it feels like, on another song he mentions sky full of fire, rain coming down, like a lot of apocalyptic imagery throughout the album, but a lot of just fun and really hilarious moments as well, where, like I said, it's almost like he's got that Highway 61 revisited swagger back on songs like Lonesome Day Blues, where he says, Samantha Brown lived in my house for about 4 or 5 months. Don't know how I looked to other people. I never slept with her even once. Like, just great lines like that. And then it closes with the line, you're going to need help, sweetheart. You can't make love all by yourself. It's like, oh my God, Dylan is just the master. I mean, and then closing with the song Sugar Baby, which is just this very almost futuristic in comparison to the other songs on this album, kind of reverb drenched slow dirge that about a relationship gone wrong. And again, that kind of acerbic wit comes through in the way that only Dylan can do. And, I just love this album so much. I feel like pushing an hour in length, there's maybe 1 or 2 songs you could chop off of here, like Cry a While or Honest with Me, which I actually do love that one, even though it's not one of my favorites. I think it was actually nominated for a Grammy. This did win Contemporary Folk Album in 2001, or I guess 2002. It should have won Album of the Year because it's just incredible. I would really rank it at probably a very close second favorite Bob Dylan album of all time. And God, if I had to give this a grade, a very strong 9 out of 10, just a masterpiece. If I had to pick my 2 favorite songs, that's a tough one. One would have to be Lonesome Day Blues, and the other, God, man, there's so many great songs on here. I think I'm going to have to go with High Water, just because it sounds like nothing. It came out of thin air. Just incredible how he did this. I could go on and on about how much I love this album, but Bob Dylan, just one of the greatest artists of all time, and one that just, it blew my mind when this came out, and I'm sure for many others as well. But if you haven't had the chance to listen to this, do yourself a favor, and you're going to fall in love with it. I guarantee you, no matter what kind of music you love, there's so much to love about this album. So guys, thank you so much for watching. We got album reviews, top 5s every Friday, so much more. Thank you for watching, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.